Hello, my lovely friends. This is Marta from Drop of Sunshine. Welcome in my studio, my friends. Today we're gonna be playing with creative stamping. This is their issue number 98, which is just came out. I've recently received it this week, and I didn't have a chance to play with it. My friends. Before I will jump into the video, I'm gonna be doing a little bit stamping, nothing really difficult today video for my today's video, but I first and foremost I want to say a huge thank you to all my friends who recently joined my channel, who like my fan page on the Facebook as well. And another thing which I'm really positively surprised, very thankful and grateful, one of the friends has contacted me in regards if I would like to join the Bulgarian card making group, and I've agreed, of course, and once I start posting a couple of my video clips there, I had such a huge and amazing response from this lovely card maker from Bulgaria. Thank you so much. Blagodaria mnoga. I hope I'm saying it right because I don't know Bulgarian language, but I'm trying to pick up a few words just so I'll be able to say thank you or hello, something like that, because I'm really appreciating all your support and kindness and these beautiful messages I've been receiving over the past few days. So thank you so much to all my Bulgarian friends, and not only Bulgarian, but also from all over the place, from all over the world. Let me know in the comments, actually, my friends, where are you from, where are you watching from, so that way I could maybe learn a couple of words in your own language, because I I am so grateful and thankful. I would love to say thank you to everyone. Now, going back to my video, my friends, I'm gonna be creating a couple of the images, and for a change I've decided to stamp them not with the ink, but stamp them with the embossing ink, and then use my rose gold embossing powder. I'm gonna be doing some watercoloring on it, and I didn't want the ink to smudge, so the best way to make sure your image doesn't go anywhere, like there will be no smudging, is to actually use the embossing. I've noticed that the embossing powder is beautifully locking this image, and there's no leaking whatsoever. There is a couple of the inks specially designed for different methods. You've got the inks which are permanents, like archival ink or stays on, and there's also all sorts, many brands has their own dedicated inks to alcohol markers or watercolor. So this is something to look at if you're doing lots of the coloring technique in one medium. This is something you could be interested in invest, like buying the special ink which gonna be working well with your coloring technique, in example like alcohol markers or the watercolor pens I'm having here. But if you're new to stamping, if you're new to the coloring, the embossing powder, it's really a great solution. Plus it also gives you this raised edge, which also helps to stay in line, because it's so much easier to go over the line when you don't have this protection raised edge. But what the embossing does, once you heat it up, you've got this raised image, so it's really easy to stay in the lines. I'm not doing any special coloring. This is not even the watercolor paper. Later on, when I was coloring these images, I had this like, oh, I should really grab the watercolor paper. It would be better for the color to spread on the paper. But even that, this is just a plain cardstock, and as you can see, it does the job. It may not look as perfect, but it's still very good, and I am really happy with the results I'm getting here. As I'm saying, there's nothing really, not a brainer here, just adding a couple of the colors which I think will go over well with the design paper which was in the pack, because I want to use the paper as my background mat for my front layer. And then I'm just trying to stay in the theme of the coloring family, which will go well with my design paper I'll be using for this card. And here you can see the best way to add the color is not to color the entire surface at once. You can always go back and add more color to it, but it's very, very hard to actually pull the color back. You can do it with the watercolor. You can add a layer of water and then use your kitchen towel to take off a little bit of the color if you uh, if you think it's too much. But if you would do the same technique with the alcohol markers, it would be very, very hard to do it. There is a blending tool which will help you to do that a little bit, but again, it's going over the same color image a couple of times. That could also start your paper crumbling, and you don't want to do that. So it's better idea just to go a little bit at once, and then repeat and add more color if you feel like you have to. Like if this is something you want to do, then you can go over and add more color. I'm using my scissors. This is a Fiskars Spring Action scissors, which are my best friend if it comes for cutting the images. And then, as you can see, I am fussy cutting it. It doesn't take an awful long time. It's just a simple cutting here, there. I am basically tracing this embossed line. And this is another thing why I really, really like to emboss my images. When you're cutting them along the line, basically the scissors just go straight over the line, and it's really, really much easier to cut the embossed image around rather than just stamp it. And once I'm gonna do that, I will be trying to put my card together. And as always, I had a couple of the mistakes. I think today mainly my mistakes were coming from the fact I was really, really rushing because I had a different video in the plans, and then it was unusable. I should actually check it. I was planning to put the video uploaded yesterday, but I was busy with the design team work, and I just caught up, and then it was really, really late. So I thought, like, no, I'm just gonna do it tomorrow. The video is there. And then once my husband come back from work and I sit down to the computer, oh my gosh, I thought I will be crying. Maybe not crying, but I was like, no, 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 how is this possible? Never mind. Here I am embossing the sentiment, and one tip I can give you, my friends, if you're embossing your sentiments, try to heat them up from beneath the cardstock. Don't put your heating tool in the front, but try to do it from behind, because that way your embossed image will look much more clearer. It will be very, very delicate. You're not gonna get this bubbly effect, which you sometimes can get this result when your heating tool is overheating the embossing. But having it putting your hot stream from underneath the cardstock, that's really, really help you to get the better result. Here I am just using a pieces of the cardstock, and I've put the first layer, and then I found this really, really light pinkish color, which is like a ombre tone, which I thought it will be perfect for my front layer for the card. I'm using my pencil. I don't measure anything, so please, please do not ask me for any measurements. As you can see, I am just adding the paper to my card base. I am just marking the dots where to cut, and this is the best way. That way I never had any mistake, and I can create as thin layers, like this outer layer could be as thin or as thick as I really want to. Here I am just scoring this front panel just a teeny tiny bit to add some extra dimension and some extra interest. And this paper, because it's a magazine extra paper, is a little bit more delicate, so I would not recommend to add tons of the liquid glue for the paper, mainly because, as I'm saying, this is a thinner paper, so your glue, if you're gonna be using the liquid glue, it's gonna be showing from underneath. Here I just add a teeny tiny bit on the corner just to help me to move the paper around, so I could make sure my mat and layer are perfectly put straight together. And here I will be adding it the same way as I did with the double-sided tape. At first I was thinking of using the foam tape to slightly rise the paper up, but as I'm saying, this paper is not as thick, and I was scared that once I be putting the foam tape, the whole front piece will get wonky. So I thought, no, I don't want to risk it. I'll just add the glue just a double-sided tape, and I'm always doing the same thing. I've had a couple of questions recently how I do it. I just put the strips of the double-sided tape on the four edges on my card, then I slightly lift it and adding the drop of the glue in a place where the tape is revealed, and then I'm just trying to put it as straight as possible, and once I'm happy I'm taking off the rest of the protection strips, and that way I have never ever trouble that my card is not stick and straight or anything like that. Here I am just adding the second layer for my sentiment, and I must tell you, my friend, there is something in this double layering of your front sentiment. Try to create a second layer. If you have your like a rectangle sentiment cut out, just add one layer slightly bigger, and you will see how much better the sentiment looks like. At least for me, I've been trying it plenty times, like with and without, and I must tell you, my friends, that every time I have this double layer, like a little matting for my sentiment piece, it always looks much better. And here I got a little bit distracted. I don't know what I was looking like. Was I even looking on a card? I've placed this circle. I've decided I want to have something white to picking from underneath this glass and this fruity composition, and oh my gosh, how did I glue it? I shift this circle a little bit up, and here you can see I'm gluing it much higher than I should. I haven't noticed that, but when I and I of course stick my watermelon straight away, and have a look, my friends, my straws from the glass are just like poking up from above the card, which is like way too high. I should place this circle frame a little bit lower. I don't know how I did it. I just don't know, but those things happen, especially if you craft in a rush. So we all do it. I know that many times when I even myself, when I was watching the YouTube videos for other crafter, I was thinking like, oh, they do everything so perfectly, always working, always like on the spot, and why am I not? Why is the things not working for myself? But here you can see this is a pure example. Not everything works for always for me and for every crafter. I'm sure every crafter, even the most experienced crafter, they also make all sorts of the mistakes, and this is something can happen to everyone, and not a trouble at all. Just a little bit thinking. I've tried to move this circle frame a little bit, but this paper is very delicate, so when I was trying to peel it off, I actually ripped it, and then I thought I don't want to start from the beginning. I'm actually gonna add this piece of the white paper. And this front paper, this is actually the linen cardstock. It's the same linen finish as my card base, so I think it will be looking really nice because it gives this a little bit pop of white on the front of the card as well, and I'm actually quite happy with the final result. So there you are. Basically my card is almost ready, and as you can see, I didn't use, even though I had this die frame circle frame at the beginning, which is very old die from the Spellbinder. I don't remember the name, but I'm sure it's way long, it's been retired by now. So but if you want to do, you could use two generic circle dies and create yourself a similar frame as well. But here I eventually didn't use any dies, so as you can see, if you buy the magazine, you have all you need. You basically have there, apart from coloring medium or like little pearls I'm adding here, but the rest is come from the magazine, and I'm really happy in overall how the card turns out. Thank you so very much for watching. I hope you will I hope you enjoy this video, and you will join my next live classes on the Facebook on this coming Sunday. Stay blessed, my friends, and I'm wishing you a wonderful day. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.